I can't lift these. Like, this is too, I can't hold all of these. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is stack 1 of 4. Get a cup of coffee or some tea or some wine, because it's gonna be a long ass book haul. Hey guys, I'm Jessie. If you are new here, if you are returning, welcome back, glad to have you. Today I am doing my very long overdue cumulative haul from May. Some of these are from Amazon, some of them are from Book Outlet. I think one book is from Thrift books, but your girl got a lot of books. There's a lot to get through. So just grab a snack, get something to drink, and let's just talk about what books I bought. The first book that I bought this past month is the only one that's from Thrift books, and that is this Dust Jacket-less Clockwork Angel. I picked it up for like $3 because I have the other 2 books that I got from my local library sale a while back. I haven't read them, obviously, because I haven't read the first book. But I didn't want to go and like buy a brand new copy and like spend a lot of money. It's like, I don't know, I just didn't want to waste my money. I wanted to make sure I'm going to like it first, because I'm on the fence. I'm not sure. But I thought it was like $3 used. I was like, yes. And I don't really care about the dust jacket so much. Like, I can always, if I love it, order a dust jacket, I believe. I think they sell them on Etsy. But yeah, I'm super excited about this one because I've been wanting to read this series. I just never, for some reason, got into it. I read all the Mortal Instruments and then never like read anything else from Cassandra Clare. But I'm excited to read this series. The next thing I picked up is from Amazon, and it is the Broken Earth Trilogy box set. I'm so excited about this. I've been wanting to read the Broken Earth Trilogy for so long now. I have heard such great things about it. I've heard that there is a mother character who is our main protagonist in the first book, and that just sold me on it. So I've actually don't have the books in the box. I have the first one over in my TBR pile in my room, ready to be read. And then I have the other 2 on my shelves, and I just didn't want to pull them off, but I got all 3 in the box set. I'm a sucker for box sets. Like, they're usually such a good deal, and you will definitely see that trend here in a couple minutes that I'm a sucker for a box set. What do y'all do with these though? Like, do you keep the boxes or do you get rid of the boxes from box sets? Because I'm not really sure what to do with it. Like, it's cool looking, but I don't want to take up too much room, and like, I have the books, and it's not like a nice box, like especially this one, like it's not like a nice box. It's like just a flimsy cardboard box. Let me know, do you keep these or not? We're gonna toss that right there. The next book I got off Amazon, and it is actually another one that I am reading in June, and I am reading it for a read along with Jessie May and her Shelf Space book club that she is hosting, and that is Kings of the Wild. I'm super excited. I've been wanting a reason to buy this one basically, and she announced the book club and that this was going to be the first book that they read along with Books with Brittany, and I was like, hey, there's my excuse to pick it up. So we're doing that. I'll leave the information down below her video if you want to check it out and join us. Another one that I picked up is another one that I am reading for a read-along in the month of June, and that is the Ballot of Song and Snakes, the prequel Hunger Game book that just came out. Look, I know this has had some mixed reviews. Like, a couple people have loved it, some people have hated it. But I'm going in, like, I have avoided actually watching reviews. I've avoided reading vlogs. Like, I'm going in and making my own assumptions, and I'm going to be starting it this week because this is another one I'm doing a like book club. Kristen over at Super Space Chick is hosting it, and again, I'll leave her video where she talks about it below, and I'm excited to finally read it and to see what my opinions are without watching like the reviews and stuff like that. I'm trying to keep all my like Amazon books and book outlet books separate for you. The next thing I picked up, which I've already read and finished, is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. If y'all didn't watch my reading vlog with this, like, just go watch it. I'll link it because I adore this series and I loved The Poppy War. And I think I like this one even more. Like, it was dark and it was violent and it was brutal. And there was twists and there was turns and there was shit that pissed me off and there was shit that made me cry and there was shit that made me happy. And this book, this whole series just has me feeling all the feels, and this has definitely become a favorite series of mine. If you don't know, this series is an Asian military inspired adult fantasy. It is set in a very, very dark world. There's all the trigger warnings for literally anything that you can think of as sexual assault, violence, torture, drug abuse. It just, take it with a grain of salt, but if you don't mind that dark world, then please pick up this series because I need more people to talk to about it. Another Amazon pick this month is Nevernight and God's Grave by J. Kristoff. Y'all know at one point I hauled the third book in the series in a book outlet haul, and I was like really surprised that it was like a signed first edition, which I thought was super cool. But then I didn't have the first two books because I've never read the series, and I picked that up on a whim. So I decided to complete the collection and pick up the first two books. So hopefully I like this series because I've heard such mixed things about it. I know Brittany with Books and Brittany loves it, and we have pretty similar tastes. But then there's some people that just hate it and the footnotes and the flowery writing, so I don't know. But I'm excited and I'm going into it thinking I'm gonna love it because it's adult fantasy, it's dark, it's gritty, it's assassins, and I'm here for it. So let's see what happens. Another Amazon book that I picked up is Supernova by Marissa Meyer. I just recently finished Arch Enemies this past month and I loved it. So I'm super excited to read the third book. It is a superhero YA book, but it is very much so, how do I explain that? It is a YA book, but it, to me, leans on a little bit of the older side of YA. Even though our characters are young, they are a lot of like morally gray themes in this, and you know, no one's like truly good or truly bad, and our good guys make bad decisions and our bad guys make good decisions, and I love the series and I can't wait to see where it ends up in this book. It was a quick read. Like, to me, Marissa Meyer's books read super fast. Like, I read Arch Enemies, I think, in like 2 days, and it's like a 500-page book. I just don't know. There's something about her writing style where I can just consume it quickly, but I still retain the information. It's not like skimming. And I really like that when I just need something to pick up and just get to and read. Like, yes, please give me a Marissa Meyer book. So these are the books that I was probably the most excited for this month that I picked up, and that is, I picked up all of the Mistborn books. Well, the first era. I picked up all 3, and these covers, specifically these covers, because I just think that they're beautiful, and this is my favorite edition, and I wanted it. So these are my favorite editions. I know some people love the UK covers of these books, and I do too. They're beautiful, but there is something about these covers and these editions that I just fell in love with. And I knew that I wanted hard copies because like I love a hardcover book. I just do. I know so many people love big floppy paperbacks. I will take a hardback any day. And I wish there was like something on the actual like cover. I wish more books would do that where they print on the hardcover and not just the dust jacket. But that's a small gripe. I love this series. I want to reread it very, very soon. I read it all on ebook last year, the year before, something along those lines, and just devoured it, fell in love, knew I needed the hardcovers for my collection, so that is what I did. This is way more than I would have normally spent on books, because normally, you know, I'm cheap. I'm like, hey, it's on sale. Hey, it's on Book Outlet. These, I was like, hey, they're $20 a piece. I'm going to buy all of them because I need them in my collection. We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. Another finish my collection purchase that I got from Amazon was Lady Smoke and Emperor Queen. These are the second and third books in the Ash Princess trilogy. I read Ash Princess a little while ago, a couple months. I really enjoyed it and I really wanted to pick up the other two books. Again, paperback, hardback. I have the paperback of Ash Princess. It doesn't bother me that terribly. Like, okay, I just talked about the Mistborn books and how I spent $20 on each of them and like needed the beautiful editions, but for the most part, unless it is a favorite series of all time, I don't need matching like editions. I just don't. Like, I like it, but I don't necessarily need it. So I didn't want to wait for paperback to come out just to pick it up, just to have a match. So I just got one paperback and one in hardback because the paperback was cheaper. Am I the only one that does that? That like literally doesn't really care about them matching? Because I know it's a big thing here that like we care and we care about how pretty our shelves are and this and that. And I do. I love a pretty shelf, but like they're still kind of mismatched. Like all three of my shelves themselves are different. All the books are different. Like, and they're not super organized. I'll do a bookshelf tour at some point now that I have it like pretty much set up. But yeah, am I the only one that does that? Because I just really care more about the content of the book. Like, I love a pretty cover, don't get me wrong. But really, to me, the content of the book is what matters more. I also got this big old bad boy, Priory of the Orange Tree, and I am so pumped to read this. Like, I've heard such good things about this, and y'all, it's a thickin'. But I got it in paperback. I really wanted the hardback, but it was like so much more expensive than the paperback, so I was like, I'm just gonna get the hardback. I thought about getting it on ebook just because it's so big, but I'm like, that is way too big of a book to read on my Kindle. And I don't mind reading on my Kindle. I know that's another thing. Like, some people are like, oh, I don't read on, like, it bothers them, like it bothers their eyes. It doesn't me. I actually like reading on my Kindle. I have Kindle Unlimited and love it. I'm gonna do like a whole video on like Kindle Unlimited recommendations. Look out for that one. But yeah, I'm excited to read this. I have heard there is like great female romance in this, and there's dragons, and I'm sold. Like, that's all I need. Female romance and some dragons. All right, the last Amazon book that I got in the month of May is Heart of Flames by Nikki Palpretto. This is the sequel to Crown of Feathers. I loved Crown of Feathers. I loved Crown of Feathers when I read it this past year. And I am super hyped to read the next book in the series and see what happens. The first book is about this girl who is an animagus, I believe they call him in the book. Basically, she has magic where she can talk to animals. That is outlawed in their world. Magic is outlawed in their world, and she wants nothing more than to be a phoenix rider. And they're all like gone, and I guess she finds some that are in hiding, but they won't let girls be phoenix riders, so she has to dress up like a boy and pretend to be a boy to learn their ways. And it's just so good. It's got my favorite trope, which is girl dressing up as a boy. And it's just so good. The ending of the first book had this twist that like really got me, like I didn't see coming. And that's not super common. Normally I'm that person that's like, oh, gotcha, I saw that. Like, nope, didn't see this one coming. So I'm really excited to read the second book and see where it goes. All right, that was all of my Amazon books that I purchased this month. I did get sent one book by an author, and she is a self-published author, and it is the Superseeker book. This, for one, the cover is so pretty, and for self-pub, it is definitely a really high quality book. It is about superheroes, and y'all know I love superheroes, so I'm excited to read it. I love self-published authors and supporting but yeah, I really enjoy finding and supporting self-published authors. That's one reason that I love Kindle Unlimited so much, is it gives me access to a bunch of different self-published books that I can read. But she was super kind enough to reach out and want to send me this. All right, all the rest of the books came from a few different small book outlet orders. Y'all know I love Book Outlet. Like, I think I've just like given them my paychecks this whole quarantine. So it shouldn't come as any surprise. They have some amazing deals, and I got really lucky for two of these, finding them before they sold out, because they sold out really quickly. And this is why middle of the night shopping is like my thing. You know, I can't help myself. The first thing I picked up from Book Outlet is this box set. Again, another box set of the Darker Shades of Magic series. I read the first book a couple months ago, and I'm super excited to read the rest of them. If you haven't read the series, it is an adult fantasy that is set in 3 different Londons. There is White London that is starved of magic. There is Red London that is thriving with magic. There's Grey London that is like just no magic. And then there is a 4th London, which is Black London, but it's like shut off. And there are very few people that can go between the Londons, and shit happens. That's kind of the premise behind it. It was so good. It was on my 5-star predictions, and I gave it 5 stars. I loved it, and I'm really excited to read the rest of them. As you can see, like this like just came in because the plastic packaging is still on it. Again, what do y'all do with the boxes? I don't even know. Another box set that I happened to pick up from Book Outlet is the entire Lunar Chronicles. Scarlet is missing because it's in my room because I'm going to read it. It's in my TBR pile. But yeah, I got this box set of all the Lunar Chronicles, including Fairest and what's the other one called? Stars Above. So the short stories and the like prequel, or the one about like the villain origin story. Well, I know what to do with this box because it done flopped apart already. So this one we're definitely not keeping. No need to keep these box set boxes. But yes, all of them. And I am very excited because I've read Cinder and that's it. And I loved it. Like I said, I'd like devour Marissa Meyer's books. So I'm really, really excited to read the rest of the series. I'm going to read Scarlet in June and see what I think, and probably continue on. I'm going to try to continue on with like a book a month because I really want to finish the series. Another one that I picked up is Reckoning of Fallen Gods by R.A. Salvatore. I read the first book, Child of a Mad God, and absolutely adored it. This is the second book in the Coven trilogy. I was going to pick up the third one, but it was sold out on Book Outlet when I made my order, so I'll just get it another time. Although I didn't know that I picked a pocketbook because I didn't pay that much attention. Because I was like throwing stuff in my cart to get to the $35 shipping threshold so that I could make my order for, I believe, the Cinder box set, because those sell out like so quick. If you see them and you want it, get it and get it then. So I just threw a couple of books in from my wish list. Didn't realize that I had thrown in the pocket one. It's tiny, y'all. Like the print's tiny. It's not quite, like it's tiny. But I like the story. I ain't gonna hate on it. It was cheap. But I really loved the first book. I'm excited to see where the world goes. So that is what else I got. Woo! My stack almost fell. I also picked up Fireborn. I don't know much about this book. I heard like a couple people talk about it, and I've heard good things about it. There's obviously a dragon. What else could I want? Fantasy, dragon, and it's a hardback. I'm pretty sure it's YA. Yeah. Revolutions, dragons, fantasy, sold. The next one I picked up is Damsel. Again, I don't know too terribly much about this. I heard it's like a twist on the princess gets saved by the prince trope, but I know that at some point there was like a lot of controversy surrounding it, and I don't remember why. So we'll see. I don't know much about this book, but I mean, the cover is really pretty. And I like fairy tale retellings, so we'll see what I end up thinking about this one. Because I don't remember what the drama and controversy was around this book. I try not to like even read into it. I don't know. I don't know. The next few books that I picked up are all pushing me a little bit outside my comfort zone in one way or another. These are genres that I don't normally read from, but they just spoke to me for some reason and said, Jessie, you can read more than just fantasy and some sci-fi. You can diversify your library and your life and join the world of more books. So I listened to that little voice, and the first one I picked up is probably the closest to my comfort zone, but it is non-fiction, and it is The Princess Diarist, and it is by Carrie Fisher, and I adore her. I was so sad about her passing. I cried when I watched Rise of the Skywalker when she like first came on screen, and I was like like a child. Like, it's not a sad moment. It's just knowing that like they used old footage, and like that's really her, but like she died years before, so like I saw like a baby, and then there was crying. This is her memoir, and I am super excited because she lived one hell of a life. She lived fast and hard for a lot of her younger life, and I'm just excited to read her words about her life and just see what her experiences were. Another one I picked up, I have heard so many good things about, and I'm so excited for a few different reasons, and that is Heretics Anonymous. This is, it might be magical realism. I think it's just contemporary. It is set at a private school, and the main character is an atheist, and he like meets this group of people that are like a Jew and a pagan and a homosexual, and I am so down for this. If you don't know, I didn't go to Catholic school, but I went to a very strict Southern Baptist school for about 7 years of my life when I was younger, 1st grade through 7th grade. I hated it. I made some really good friends there that I am still friends with to this day, but the school itself I absolutely despised. I used to get in trouble quite a bit because I'm very outspoken. Even as a young child, I was pretty outspoken, and you know that wasn't okay for a girl. Girls didn't do that shit, okay? Like, I told a story in my Meet the Fantasy Booktuber tag that I did about how I almost got expelled in like 4th grade because like they found out that I'd been reading Harry Potter books at home and asked about like witchcraft and if I was casting spells on students. Like, shit was real. Down here in the South, like that shit was real. Like, they were a school that like cared more about teaching you religion than teaching you like important shit, like educating you. We won't get into that, but like I don't know, like something about this just speaks to me and my childhood, and the fact that I went to a very weird, strict Christian school. Yeah, it was a time. Like, if you've ever seen the movie Saved with Mandy Moore, that is what reminds me of the school that I used to go to, only much smaller. Like the school that I went to was much smaller than the one in the movie. But that was like one of my favorite movies, and this gives me vibes from it, so I'm really excited to pick it up. I'm here for it. And the stories I can tell about that school in my experience are just crazy sometimes. Like, I knew a girl that got expelled her senior year, 2 weeks before graduation. She was 18 and it was on a weekend, and she was like smoking a cigarette in her car, and a teacher happened to see her, and then she got expelled because we all had to agree not to do things that were unbecoming of Christian women, and that was one of them. Even though she was 18 and it was perfectly legal and it was on a weekend, it wasn't on school campus. Yep, she didn't get to walk in graduation. She didn't get her diploma because of that. Oh, the stories I could tell. But I got off track on a tangent. I'm excited to read this book. Next, I also picked up The Princess and the Fangirl. I just am super excited to read this. I don't read a lot of contemporary romances. I still need to pick up Geekerella, which is the first one in this series, but I just saw this on Book Outlet and just wanted it. Because I've been wanting to read this series, but contemporary romance is just not my thing. But it's set at like a convention, and it's like all the like geeky lifestyle stuff that I adore. So that just sold me on this, and I'm really hoping to love it. I know there's another book coming out. I don't remember the title of it, but it was a Beauty and the Beast inspired retelling, because these are all inspired by different fairy tales, kind of like the Lunar Chronicles are. So yeah, I'm gonna pick up Geekerella probably at some point and then get to this one because it just sounds super cute, and maybe I will love contemporary romance after this. And finally, whoo, y'all, we made it to the end. We made it. Thank you for sticking with me. If you are still here, let me know that you are still here, because this is gonna be a long one. The last book that I picked up from Book Outlet in the month of May is Final Girls by Riley Sager. I have been wanting to read more thriller, mystery books, and I have heard that Riley Sager is a great like thriller writer, and that just everything is amazing about all of the books. So I saw this one on Book Outlet and I was like, yes, I'll pick you up and move outside my comfort zone. And I love like OG horror movies, and this gives me that kind of vibe with the final girl kind of thing, because like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and all of those had the final girl. So I'm excited to see if I like it. All right, hopefully you enjoyed that super long cumulative book haul from Amazon and Thrift Books and Book Outlet and all the places. Let me know what you think of any of these that you have read. If you want to join us in any of the read-alongs, I linked the information below that we're going to be doing. And yes, thank you for hanging out with me. My name is Jessie. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Hi.
Bye.